Is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great day. We're here. It's Monday. We've got one day left, a little over 24 hours, and we are at our 53-man roster. Of course, I've told you, I'm sure we'll play someone on an IR, sign back a vested veteran, so we'll be making all kinds of moves, even after the 53 is set tomorrow after 4 o'clock. So I'll keep you up to date with everything up until week 1, 13 days away from game 1. Excitement in the air, but we've got some news that just might excite your ass at home. So let's talk about it here. This is definitely something that could open up some space for some other guys, but we've talked about this for a little while here. Derek Barnett. Now, he restructured his contract a few weeks ago, and we talked about that, kind of makes it seem like he's going to make this roster, right? So, we talked about that money, how it moved around, and it didn't save you any cap space this year, but in the long run, it did. It gave him more money up front, so that made sense. Now, we talk about him, edge rusher 5. You've got on one side Josh Sweat with Brandon Graham behind him, and then you've got Hassan Reddick with Nolan Smith behind him. Rotate that however you want. Derek Barnett as that 5th guy. Can do a lot of things, that skinnier build where, outside linebacker at times, and Desai's going to use all these pieces. But we talked about him. Edge rusher 5, fine. Who cares? That's great. He's a former first-round pick. It's unfortunate he never panned out, but why not? Whatever. He's edge rusher 5. Just get rid of him next year, whatever. Well, turns out today we got a little bit of news. Jeremy Fowler here, dropping this little nugget. Apparently, Drew Rosenhaus, Derek Barnett's agent, says that he is gauging the trade market for potential to play more elsewhere. Philly plans to keep Barnett, but understands a deep pass rush roster limits playing time. The 2017 first-round pick should have trade value. So we talk about it, all of the mistakes he makes, all these things. And, one of the things I mentioned before was you're not really going to save money. So it was kind of dumb just to get rid of him, right? So now, if this dude is, clamoring that he wants to be gone, look, dude, you haven't shown shit here. And, consider it a blessing that you're still here able to go compete for a championship, which we will win this year. So if you're not here, hey, I appreciate you helping us with that first one, but it is what it is. You see that he wants to be gone now. Let's take a look. I've mentioned it. He's played 6 years now. We drafted him in the first round back in 2017. Oh, we broke Reggie White's record. Well, 27 years old, 7th year now in the league. And, well, we'll never know if he's really going to pan out here because I don't know that he'll be here. But 6'3", 259. Pick 14. Yeah, that'll eat you alive inside if you try to get worked up about it. But, don't. Guys sometimes pan out. Things happen. Some picks don't work out. He is one of those guys that at least he was serviceable, helped us in that Super Bowl, and we talk about him being depth. Now, as a starter, gets lots of penalties, lots of stupid plays, so you're hoping with the limited amount of snaps that those things would, be toned down, and when he was in, he could just maybe make some plays. But this dude wants more playing time, doesn't want to be here, so all right, dude. Now, in his 6 years of playing for us, only 21 and a half sacks there. And, there, look, let's be real. We just had Reddick last year with the playoffs at like 18 and a half, So I think clearly did not live up to expectations, especially someone that broke Reggie White's record at Tennessee. So started 45 games, played in 65, 147 tackles, 36 tackles for a loss, 76 quarterback hits. But as I mentioned, 21 and a half sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 3 fumbles recovered. That is not pass deflected. Sorry, I didn't change that. But I've been losing my mind trying to get all this content out to you. But the most important thing that we talk about is the money. So I'm here to show you the money. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Barnett here. He's got 1 year left. I have no idea why that's saved like that, but cool, Canva. Anything I can do to just keep jacking these things up, why not? But anyways, you see his cap here's 2.295. The million's supposed to be up there with it, but it keeps saving these things like this, and I have no idea why. But Canva, what do I pay you for? I'm about to give you some sweet chin music. But he's got some void years at the end of his contract. You can see the restructure here would only save $36,000. Same for an extension. He was already restructured here. So Cutting him is not going to help you. It's only going to give you his cap hit as dead money. So you're not cutting him. We talked about this before. That's not going to happen. I know a lot of people feel a certain way, but you also have to be smart about it. We're not going to just throw our money away. Now, a trade, you can see that we would actually save a little bit of money, 1.125, and it would actually, be a little bit less. You would still take on dead money, and it would be more than the cap saved, but at least you could cut it in half there, maybe get something back in return. And, for somebody that is edge rusher 5 on your roster, you're not going to get back that much in return. I've seen all kinds of things thrown out there. He's a former first-round pick. Yeah, I don't care. I'm still thinking, you would be striking gold if you could get a 5th-round pick for him, and I'm being dead serious. So maybe you give him for a 6th, a 7th, a combination of the two, maybe a pick swap, with somebody. You give them your 7th and Derek Barnett, you get their 5th or maybe their 6th, something like that. But you're not going to get that much in return. But, hey, you get rid of him. You open up a roster spot for maybe a Patrick, Kyron, Johnson. Maybe you get Teron Jackson here. Janarius Robinson, not so good, but it opens things up. Now, we were talking throughout this offseason, the position battles, and all 9 guys that we just talked about the other day are still here. Now, I had my 5 locks, and you can see that I had Derek Barnett as one of those guys. With the way his contract was restructured, it just made sense. But now, if he is traded, you've got 4 guys. I'm thinking you want to keep 6, maybe even 7. So that would open up. I think Patrick and Kyron would make it. Maybe Teron Jackson as well. I think Teron over Janarius, but it opens things up. Now, we've heard all kinds of things throughout the offseason, how the Eagles desperately need help at edge rusher, Yannick Ngakoue, this, that, the other thing. For me, that's a big no. I don't think we need any help. And I talked about this, Derek Barnett as your 5th. That's pretty damn good. Even with Derek Barnett gone, Reddick with Nolan Smith behind him, and then Sweat with Brandon Graham, whoever that 3rd guy is behind them on either side, Patrick on one and Kyron on the other, I'd feel pretty great about it, not going to lie to you. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this one. I know you all feel a certain way about Derek Barnett. And look, if he wants to be gone, we can get something in return. Why the hell not? I was perfectly fine with him being here if they were going to keep him. The plan is still to keep him. And boy, if they do, this dude is going to be moved to the Netherlands, especially if he comes out here and does something stupid. So love to hear your thoughts on this. All I've got for you right now, though, I'll be back later with all of the cuts, everything. If you missed any of those things, go check out the videos. Got my projected 53. It still stands after 20 cuts. So let's effing go. But if you got anything from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. Until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Hope you're all having a great start to your week. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!